Hey guys, we're going to talk about the Toronto Real Estate Board stats to give you an idea what's going on in our real estate market here in the Toronto and Greater Toronto area. We're talking January 2024. We're going to review the numbers so you know exactly what's going on. Let's get it. Okay guys, well as you know, every single month we talk about detached homes, semi-detached townhouses, and we talk about condo apartments here in the GTA. We see what they're going for month over month so we can track the actual price increase or decrease, how many sales are happening, and also we track how it compares to last year on a macro level. We take a look at all this information to give you insights as to what's going on in the marketplace. If you're a buyer or seller or investor, someone trying to get in the market or somebody who's waiting to jump into the market, this is very valuable for you because I'm gonna also break down what I'm thinking is happening based on these numbers going forward. So let's pull up the first chart here so we can get into it. Okay guys, so we have this up on the screen now, and if you take a look, this is our dot graph. It gives us an idea of what our price has been doing over several months and back into several years. We're gonna focus towards the end of this. On the right-hand side of the chart, you see that, let's focus in on 2023. You see that we've had kind of a rocky 2023. We had a bit of a climb at the beginning of the year into the spring of 2023. Then since then, we had a kind of gradual drop down in average price. Obviously, due to interest rates and many things that were going on in our economy, it really dampened buyer sentiment and also buyer activity. Towards the end, in the fall of 2023, you see that we continued that drop, and I would say that fall of 2023 and into the winter months, so let's say, September, October, November, December, we didn't really do that great. Prices continued to fall, activity was very low, and that was probably a really, really good time to buy property because things changed quite a bit in January. But this is what's going on so far. And although in this chart you see that we're going from December to January on a bit of a drop, I can tell you for sure that I see more buying activity happening, and we'll take a look at that in the info to come. I'm gonna pop up another chart on the screen right now. This is the comparison between the Bank of Canada interest rate and prices, and you see that there's a little bit of an influx here. So you see here as of July and August 2022, as soon as interest rates started climbing, and you can see that gradual climb up to 5%, prices started dwindling, and it's no different now. Since the overnight rate from the Bank of Canada is still at 5% at the moment, you still see that it's impacting prices as they have been going down over the last few months. Okay, so that was that, guys. You can see the relationship between the interest rate and average price. As interest rates go up, prices tend to go down, and if we do see interest rate drops coming up in this year, we could see that average price actually start to climb. It'll be interesting to see that in the charts that we have in subsequent months. You also saw that 2023 was kind of a rocky month, and towards the end of it, we were still kind of dropping down in price. So let's see if that changes going forward, because the sentiment, I believe, here in January 2024 has changed quite a bit. Let's take a look at our month-to-month numbers because this paints a different picture. Let's put that up on the screen here. So in this chart, guys, we're typically looking at the difference between December and January. Let's focus in on the January numbers here. Detached home sales at 1,745. We also have our average price at 1,350,828, and there's about 3,589 listings for detached homes. Semis, we're at 343 sales. The average price is 1,038,303, and we have 328 active semis on the market right now. Townhomes, we're at 765 sales, and our average price is 891,443. 1,406 active listings at the moment. Condos, we had a total sales of 1,335. Price point is at 681,979. That's the average price of the month of January. And active listings at the moment are at 4,693. So let's take a look at the differences. The difference between month to month. That's actually very interesting to me. Active listings have actually stayed around the same. If anything, they've come down a bit. And I think that's in response to the actual buying. If we go to the second column here, sales month over month, you'll see that we've actually climbed double digits in some cases for many of the different property types. The sales of condos went up 41% from December to January. I was telling people who were looking at getting into entry-level price point, November, December were the months for condos because condo prices, the activity has shot up, and a lot of the stuff that was sitting on the market that was good has been eaten up now. It's been eaten up. Like there's been more sales for condos. Same thing for townhomes at 22% difference month over month sales. And that makes sense on active listings, either been equal or have actually dropped on a month over month basis. Now, when it comes to the month over month price though, not much has changed. It's actually very similar pricing. What somebody paid for in January was very similar to December, but the point is that things are moving a little bit more. So if you're a seller in the marketplace, it could be a good moment to actually sell. because there's a little bit more buyers in the buyer pool and more people are actually taking action in terms of making those purchases. So months of inventory has also changed slightly, but it's very similar to last month. And believe it or not, detached semis and townhomes are still in a seller's market situation in the GTA. Most people probably don't think that that's the case, but it is. And depending on what pocket you're in, things are still moving pretty quickly. And at the moment, there is even on multiple offers with people listing their price under market value, getting multiple buyers and actually selling those properties in even less than a week or less than 2 weeks. So that days on the market is actually coming down for some of the better neighborhoods for sure. So it'll be interesting to see how that changes. Even condo month of inventory is now in that 3.5 months of inventory. So we're technically a little bit underbalanced, more on the seller side, even for the condos, which has not been the case over the last few months. So that's interesting. Average price of all homes in total is at $1,026,703, and it actually does come down about 5% from December. So that's your month-to-month changes. So that was your month-to-month. Let's flip the script here and let's put up on the screen here our year-over-year summary so we can take a look at the comparison of January 2024 to January 2023. So as you see here, guys, sales has increased in Jan 2024 compared to last year by 37%. New listings as well, slightly up at 6.1%. Active listings as well are up, which kind of makes sense at 8.5%. And our average price point is down slightly, 1% less than last year. So you're almost at that 2023 price at the moment. Days on the market has definitely shot up quite a bit, 27% and 31%. So about 30% days on the market. And the difference between L and P here on the days of the market, some people remove their listing off the market and relist it. That is covered on the P days on the market. So at the end of the day, you know what? Things are still around 30 days on the market, more or less, depending on what you're selling. That's just on average, because I would say that some properties, like I said earlier in the video, are selling even less than a week with multiple offers in this market right now, January 2024. Guys, it's 2024. If you're a buyer or an investor trying to buy in the GTA market, check this out. Chief economists at all major banks are pointing to one thing. They're predicting that interest rates from the Bank of Canada are likely going to come down in 2024. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the springtime, the summertime, or the fall time, but chances are that it is going to happen. So what's in it for you? If you're a buyer or an investor, there's a double whammy win for you guys. At the moment, I would say the prices are still on the low side. Prices came down quite a bit in 2023, especially towards the end of it, and that hasn't changed much in January, February 2024. So you can buy a house for a lot less than they were selling not too long ago. And this is what's gonna happen. If you're able to get into a mortgage today, even though the interest rate's a bit high and you're able to handle the payments, you're gonna benefit from these two things. At the moment, you're gonna buy the property at a much lower price. Get into a mortgage term that's just 1, 2, or 3 years fixed. At the end of that mortgage period, you're gonna refinance now into a lower rate. The first thing that's gonna happen is that your monthly payment is gonna go down. Your expenses will be lower than today. And the second thing that's gonna happen is likely the value of your property in the building or area that you bought it in is worth a lot more than it was when you bought it a couple of years before. So that's a double whammy, guys. Buy a property today for the lower price, refinance in a couple of years, lower your payment in a couple of years, and benefit from more equity in your house. What are we waiting for? Hey sellers, are you waiting for interest rates to go down so you can sell your property for a higher price in 2024? I'm hearing this noise from a lot of sellers in the marketplace right now. They want to wait until interest rates go down so they can sell their property for a higher price. Let me tell you why you might be shooting yourself in the foot if you do that. So at the moment, we've experienced an increased buyer activity. There's a lot of buyers in the market right now and properties are selling. So if you do the right type of marketing of your property, which means you are doing the staging, you are doing the professional photography and video, you are doing the extras, you are spending a little bit of money to render your property. By the way, our company offers a $10,000 interest-free loan for sellers, in case you were wondering, and you're able to separate yourself from the competition in your building or in your neighborhood, we can still get you top end of the market in terms of your sale today. At the same time, we'll be able to go into the buyer market with less buyer competition at the moment and maybe get a deal for your next property, because deals still exist in this marketplace. See, when you buy and sell in the same time frame, everything is relative. You're gonna sell in the same market and you're gonna buy in the same market. At the moment, we don't have a crazy buyer competition, but I feel like it's coming. If you wait until interest rates drops, this is what's gonna happen. Yes, we're gonna market your property in the same way that I mentioned, and you're gonna get top dollar for your home because you did our process. However, you're also now gonna go into a buyer market that's definitely gonna be more heated. You might be in buyer competition, you might be in multiple offer scenarios, and you might have to pay a lot more for that property than you initially thought. So in my mind, guys, if you're actually looking to sell your property and move to something else in 2024, this could be the right moment to do it in the first half of the year, or at least this first quarter, before things start heating up. If we do get that interest rate change, that may not work out the way that you think. Of course, get in touch with us, guys, if you're looking to get in or out of the market. Send us a DM and we'll be sure to help.